Welcome to the Chronicles of the Christian Drama Queen podcast. I am your host and the original Christian Drama Queen, Lisa Schaefer, and I'm glad that you are here. I can promise you that I know what it's like to think like a lover of Jesus, but live like a hot mess every day. And if you can relate to that, listen, you're in the right place, because everything from the craziness of homeschooling my kids for 25 years to overcoming deep wounds of abandonment and abuse as a child, I want you to stay with me, sister, because I've walked down all of those paths and a lot more, and I've got decades of healing and hope to share with you. So here we go. This is one of those days, I say in the intro, I am a lover of Jesus, but I tend to live like a hot mess all the time. And so today I'm going to tell you about a little bit of a hot mess issue. Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, you, like me, live in a small town. Everyone knows, it's just like the old Cheers song, you want to go where everybody knows your name. Well, in my county, everybody does know your name. Everybody knows your name. And so sometimes things happen to us in a small town that you might be able to get by with in the big city, but you really can't get by with them in a small town. And here's the reason why. In a big city, if you get a wrong order at a fast food restaurant and you drive through, get your food and go home and realize it's wrong, and you drive back and you want them to fix it and you throw a great big fit, nobody in the restaurant probably knows you're a Christian. They probably don't know your name, don't know where you live, don't know the business that you operate. They don't know if you're operating a Christian ministry. They don't know that stuff. And so you might think you can get by with it in a big city, having a meltdown in public. Not so in a small town. In small towns like mine, or in small counties like mine, especially when you have a business that you operate, which I do. I have a commercial janitorial business that I've been operating for 33 years. And sometimes we've had 2 or 3 clients, and sometimes we've had 14, 15 clients. All commercial accounts. We don't do residential work. If people ask for their houses to be clean, I just tell them, look, I don't even clean my own house. So I'm not cleaning somebody else's. But when you have a business and you're trying to start a ministry, the enemy will set you up to fail by exposing you and all of your hypocrisy. Let's just call it what it is. Hypocrisy. And so I was in public today and had an opportunity to voice a concern. That's putting it nicely. I had an opportunity to voice a concern about something that someone was doing, and it was impacting me. And I didn't like, more than that, it was impacting someone I care about, and it's not a great big deal. It's not like it was a huge thing. I didn't need to call the police and have these people arrested. It wasn't something like that. But I was taken aback by a choice that someone made in service to me, serving us, just like someone at a restaurant, or maybe a teacher or a chiropractor or something, but somebody that offers service to you. And when they did what they had done, and I didn't think it was very good service. I didn't think it was good, high quality service. Listen, I was in customer service for a long time, and I'm still in it as a business owner. I just didn't feel like it was handled well, and I kind of flipped a biscuit. That's what we say in Kansas. She kind of flipped a biscuit. Now, don't misunderstand me. I did not curse. I did not swear. But I was quite stern about my opinion. With my opinion, I was obviously disgruntled. That's one way to put it. I kind of like that word, disgruntled. And I made it clear that I might not be coming back to this particular establishment because they did not operate in a manner that was both professional, friendly, high quality, caring. I might not come back. Then we left. I left. I was done. I was done talking to them, and I kind of marched out and stormed out, and immediately I felt this twinge of, those people probably see your social media on Facebook and they know you're a, quote, Christian. Or they maybe even considered being in one of your coaching courses and you profess to be a believer, but out in this situation, you probably came across as anything but loving. So, deep sigh. So I sat down in the car and I thought, okay, Lord, I'm not willing to change my mind about what happened. It wasn't as if I didn't have a good cause to be upset. Now, this is the thing. Most people think that if they have to apologize for behavior, that they've got to take back their opinion or their feelings. That's not necessarily the case. A lot of times what I'm doing is I probably am in the right concerning the information I gave or the attitude I have, but I probably didn't share it in the right way. I had to spend some time making amends and addressing the haters, those people that were probably upset with me. It hadn't been but maybe an hour or two, and I got on the phone and I called one of the two people and I said, listen, and this is always step one, always start with appreciation. Always start with appreciation. If you've got to apologize, always start with appreciation. So I started out with, I really appreciate your effort and the work that you do and the way that you do it and the talent that you have for it. I am not apologizing. And then step two, tell them the truth about your meltdown. I'm not apologizing for my opinion. I'm not apologizing for what I'm thinking would have been a better process for you. But I am, number three, willing to apologize for the way I presented that. It probably came across as very unloving. It probably came across as very condemning. It certainly is not the way that I have taught my children to respond to people, and therefore I'm not real proud of that behavior myself. You do not have to forgive me, but I wish that you would, and I do apologize for whatever I said or whatever. It's usually my tone. I know this is hard to believe, but I can come across quite condescending, and I'm pretty sure I did. So that phone call was made. Now that was a voicemail. I had to leave a voicemail. The second phone call I made to the second person that I had obviously in that particular situation given a tush chewing. I actually got to speak to them and I said to them, number one, I appreciate what you do, and I want you to know I appreciate what you do. I want you to know I know it's not easy to work with people like me, or I know it's not easy to serve people like me. So I want you to know that you're appreciated. Then I say, I'm not taking back my opinion because I really believe that there was a better way to do ... However, number three, so that was number two. Number three, however, I do want to apologize for the condemning and condescending way I presented my opinion to you. And I could have done that in a far more loving manner. Obviously, you don't have to forgive me, but I wish that you would. And I apologize. So that's kind of my guide. And he was very gracious, and he said, absolutely. I completely understand why you felt the way you felt. I understand how that happened. And then I said, do you mind if I make a recommendation on how to avoid this in the future? And he was like, sure. And I did. Of course, I told him I've had years and years of experience in customer service. So I said, here's my opinion. And so I gave him my ideas. And now whether or not you guys put that into practice or not, that's fine. But obviously there was a disconnect in what was going on in your place of business. And my family or I was impacted by your lack of diligence to have a policy in place to address these issues. Like I said, he was willing to listen to what I said. He was willing to listen to my policy recommendation. He was willing to listen to that. And I left that situation feeling like, okay, if I were in a big city, if I were living in Wichita like I used to, I could get by with that and nobody would even know. And nobody would probably care. But I have to wonder about the ruined day of the person or persons I would have left behind after that. If I did live in a big city and maybe I couldn't ever find that same person, maybe I would have melted down before someone who I might never see again because we are in a big city and they aren't always where I was. And I mean, there are just several different things. But in a small town, you can't get by with that. There are businesses that you want to, you have new potential clients in your small town. But more than that, big city, small town, big county, small county, doesn't really matter. Here's the important part. If Jesus were the person I was venting to, would I have done it in this same way? Would I have been so harsh, so critical, so unloving, so impatient, so angry? Would I have been that drama queen having that meltdown right there in the presence of Jesus? And here's what's really, really sad to say. I am in the presence of Jesus. He was there while I was having my meltdown, and he saw the whole thing. What do you think I'm going to do the next time I am tempted to have a drama queen meltdown in public? Well, whether it's in public or not, I need to remember all eyes are on me. Jesus is watching, and I've got to address the haters in a different way, just like he would have. And I guess that's going to do it for me today, guys. Thanks for joining me today on the Chronicles of the Christian Drama Queen podcast. I am your host, Lisa Schaefer. There are lots of ways to find me on social media. Of course, I'm on Facebook, and I'm also available on YouTube. I have my own YouTube channel. It's called Christian Drama Queen. You can go check out the videos of these podcasts right there on that YouTube channel. There's a website that you can go to just find out a little bit more about me. It's christiandramaqueen.com, and you can always email me, same place, lisa@christiandramaqueen.com. Don't forget to share me with a friend, guys. Like me, shoot me some hearts, fill out those comments, make sure that you've given me a rating or a review of some sort, because listen, the only way that other people find out we're here is for you to let them know that I'm here. And listen, we not only appreciate that, we really believe that God's going to use it. And you know I love you.